Dragon Drama, illustrated and written by Ingrid Lawson in 6 cents. The sound of macaws screeching echoes through the treetops. A faint trumpet from an elephant in the distance. Mel's footsteps crunched dead sticks and leaves on the jungle floor. She decided to go for a walk after her netball game. She's lived in Kumandra for over 15 years now and loves walking through the rainforest. Mel was walking, admiring the beautiful plants and wildlife, when she saw a mysterious abandoned temple. She realized how deep in the jungle she was. Half of her wanted to turn back, but the other half wanted to investigate. Her curiosity got the best of her, so she went in. The cobblestone was cold as her shoulder rubbed against it. Cobwebs wrapped the roof. Inside, the wind stopped, but Mel could still hear it. It sounded as if someone was whispering to her. This creeped Mel out. She was about to turn around, but something caught her eye. A netball? Mel gasped. Here? It was dirty, but when Mel dusted it off, the ball glistened. She took it home. That night, Mel was practicing shooting with the new netball. She'd just shot a goal when the ball fell through the net and cracked on a sharp rock. What the? Mel was confused. It hadn't popped. It cracked. Netballs don't crack. Mel was still asking questions when the netball started to whinge. Mel jumped. A small, scaly creature with bright green emerald eyes appeared. It was a dragon. Mel had heard about dragons before, but in real life? She was about to run when the hatchling started to cry. The poor little thing was helpless. Mel felt bad, so she picked it up and took it inside. She decided to name her Emerald. The next day, there was a knock at the door. When Mel opened it, a lady walked right on in and said, I'm Mrs. Nobody, and I'm here to tell you that your dragon needs to be reunited with its mother. Mel was shocked. Oh, okay, I know who you are, interrupted Mrs. Nobody. I just need to tell you now. So she sat on Mel's couch and told her about dragons, and that this is no place for one. You need to go to Mystic Shores, which is in another dimension. And with that said, she pulled out a small disc and threw it. While it glided, it opened a portal, and she pushed Mel and Emerald inside. Mel opened her eyes and was in a cave. I assume we're here, Mel whispered. I'm talking to a dragon. I'm going crazy. Emerald squeaked and started to walk to an entrance next to them. Mel followed. When Mel entered, she was astonished. There were giant glowing mushrooms, crystals hanging from the rocky ceiling, reflecting onto the floor. Streams of crystal clear water, but the most wonderful part of all were the dragons. Dragons were flying in groups and with hatchlings. Wow, Mel was speechless. Emerald flapped her wings and started to fly. She flew up and down, round and round. She landed back next to Mel. Mel picked her up and hugged her. I wish I didn't have to go. Mel put her down. Mel walked down a stone path. As she was walking, she saw a dragon suddenly breathe out fire. Mel was stunned. She continued to walk with Emerald floating in front of her. Suddenly, Emerald stopped. Mel looked up and saw an archway of rock with a humongous crystal heart at the top. She picked Emerald up and stepped in. There, she saw the biggest dragon in the whole dimension. There was something about the dragon, though. It looked oddly familiar. It looked like Emerald. It had to be her mum. Mel started tiptoeing towards her when she stepped on a crystal, which shattered loudly and woke up the dragon. In a fit of rage, she flew up high into the sky, and only a moment later, she saw Emerald. Mel put Emerald down and backed away. The dragon was still mad. I come in peace, please. The dragon landed. She stomped to Mel and sniffed her. Mel was frozen. She lifted her hand slowly and rested it on the dragon's nose. The dragon exhaled, and as she relaxed, Mel laughed. The dragon rumbled. Mel took it as a thank you. You're welcome, Mel replied. Mel was so happy she forgot where she was and started to panic. How am I going to get home? Mel said, alarmed. Just then, a portal opened next to her, and she heard Mrs. Nobody. "This is how. Hurry up, I don't have all day." Emerald trotted over to Mel. "I will miss you. I wish I didn't have to leave." Mel paused. "Hang on, do I?" "Well, you don't have to. You could stay here," Mrs. Nobody informed. "I'm staying," Mel shouted. "Are you sure? It's a big change," Mrs. Nobody said sternly. Mel thought for a moment, then nodded. The portal closed, and Mel had no way out. Mel got used to eating glowing fruit, which tasted pretty good. Mel rode on dragons and taught baby ones to fly. She took care of the eggs and learned how to cook special dragon food. She attempted to teach dragons how to play netball, but it never worked. But the best part was that Mel and Emerald were the best of friends.